Okay, I wanted to show you how you can make a real easy and cheap motion sensor light or occupancy sensor for a room. I use it in my shop to keep the lights on. When I come in, the lights come on and they stay on the whole time I'm here, and then when I leave, the lights go off because I have a habit of going off and leaving them on if I'm not careful. You just need some simple components. You don't need an Arduino or anything like that. You need a PIR motion sensor, which is the heart of this whole thing. And let me tell you how it works real quick. It just detects the motion and then sends a signal that tells a relay to close and open to turn a light on and off. Now, to wire this up on the back side, if you turn it with the two orange things at the bottom, you've got these pins here that you've got to solder to. And you've got, the first one is 5 volts positive. And then you have an output signal. That's what tells the relay to turn off and on. And then you've got a ground pin right here. So you've got 5 volts negative here, 5 volts positive here. You've got 2 places on the bottom where you can adjust. And this one is the sensitivity, so how far away it's going to see things and how small a motion it will detect. And then this is how long, once it detects something, how long is it going to turn the relay on. Now these over here, so if you have a single trigger, what it'll do is, say you have your time delay set to 30 seconds. When it gets triggered, it will turn the relay on for 30 seconds, run 30 seconds, and shut off the relay and wait for another signal. If you have it on the repeat trigger, which is what you want in this scenario, if you have your timer set to 30 seconds, it will see a motion and stay on for 30 seconds, but within that 30 seconds, if it sees another motion, it'll reset the timer and start over at 30. So if you set this to say 5 minutes and you're moving around in the room and it sees motion at least once every 5 minutes, the light will never go off. So the way you set that is, this little yellow jumper is going to be set right here in that position. You pull it off and move it so you're covering those last 2 pins. And you leave that one free right there. And that sets it in the repeat mode. Now, the relay is wired up. Your power comes in here. You need a 5 volt power supply. This is just an old cell phone charger. I'll put all these parts in the description in case you're interested, and I'll also do a charger. It won't be this exact charger because this is from an old cell phone that I have, but you need something that's 5 volts DC to run this. And so on your relay, you bring in your 5 volts positive here, 5 volts negative here, and then your signal comes from your PIR sensor, that little middle pin, comes right back here to tells the relay when to turn on and off. On the other side, you've got 110 volts coming in here AC. So this can shock you. You need to be careful. If you don't know what you're doing, you need to find that out before you do this project. So the negative side is attached to the negative side of a light. Positive side comes into the relay. Now on a relay, you've got your common pin is in the middle on this one, and then normally open on this side and normally closed on that side. What that means is when the power comes in here, if you hook it to the normally closed side, when the relay is activated, it'll turn off. If you hook it to the normally open side, when the relay is triggered, it'll turn on, which is what we want. These relays will carry 10 amps, which is actually quite a bit of lighting, especially if you're using LED lighting like I use in my shop. It'll power the entire room of lights off of this one relay. This is about $1.50. This is about $1, depending on how many of them you buy. All right, let me plug this in, and we'll see how it works. All right, let me turn this down so that it'll trigger very quickly. Okay, and so what it's doing is, if it sees motion, it's like 1/3 of a second. If it sees motion every 1/3 of a second, it's going to stay on. But if I stay still, it goes off. Let's turn it up so it'll stay on just a little bit longer. All right, so now if it sees motion, I don't know what the timer, it doesn't have digits to tell you how much time you've just set it to. You just have to kind of do it and then time it and see how it is. But if it sees motion, it's probably set to like 1 minute or something. If it sees motion at least once every minute, it's going to just keep the light on forever, which is what we want in this scenario. So like in my shop, I've got these sensors that turn the lights on when you walk in the room and stuff like that. But I found out, if you're sitting at a bench and you're just working like this with your back to that sensor, the lights go out on you. So what you can do is you can have multiples of these. Just wire them in here all the same, and it doesn't matter. Whichever one picks it up will send the signal to the relay and keep it on. So I've got one in the room when you first walk in and it catches you, turns the lights on and they stay on. And then at the bench, I put another one that will catch small motion like my hands moving and stuff like that. And so it keeps the entire room on no matter where I am and what I'm doing. Okay, so of course you're going to need to put this in a box to protect it because you've got 110 volts here, which can shock somebody. And then this, you're just going to mount this. I made this little box that you can drop it in. I 3D printed this little box. So you can drop it in and then you snap a top over it like that and you can screw it. You can screw it to the wall first and then snap this thing on there to hold it in place, and then you just run your wire. So you have this where you're going to sense the motion, and then you're going to put this, I would think, which is what I did, was very close to your light source so that your 110 wiring doesn't have to go very far. And then this wire needs to go, of course, from your PIR sensors to your relay. All right, well, I hope this was interesting to you. Thank you for watching.